Hi, Coach Beck from T3 Performance here. Today I'm going to break down a professional player against one of my 12-year-old hitters and our T3 Elite 12U players, Caleb Melendez. It is obviously not fair to break down a 12-year-old hitter's movements with a professional player, but in this case, when you see how natural Caleb moves during his swing progression, I thought it was fitting. So the four parts of the swing that I'll break down here a little bit is the loading mechanism, the launch position, the contact position, and then the finish. And within those four parts of the progression, the swing progression, I will also review a little bit about head movement, which is a huge topic when it comes to swing analysis. So first, I take a look at the most important part of the swing. It's the energy creator, the energy starter, and that's the load position. In this instance, you'll see both these players using an internal front hip rotating, which brings that back hip back and behind, and also with the upper body, that back shoulder loading back with that coil back, which is a scap load. So you kind of see these two together here, and you'll see them both rock back, and you'll see that front hip turning in, which brings that back hip behind, and you'll also see the same with that back shoulder kind of working simultaneously together. Back hip coils behind as that front shoulder works back. That's a really good mechanism of getting into that backside. Okay, then we'll progress them both forward to that launch position where the heels get connected. And again, Caleb does such a great job here of staying back, keeping his hands at the top of the zone, being able to adjust from the highest pitch to the lowest pitch in the zone while he gets his heels connected. You see Cano has kind of started his swing. I'm taking it here that he may have been swinging at an off-speed pitch down low, as we'll get to. But again, establishing ground force, which is a hitter's best friend. Both these heels get connected within that swing progression as the backside is turning and moving into that front heel. So we'll kind of progress them both forward. You see both players getting that barrel behind the back shoulder into the zone, deep to the contact position. All right, so when we're here, we take a look at Caleb does just a great job of getting that elbow slotted early, which allows that barrel to turn behind the back shoulder, create momentum. Both have palm up, palm down at contact, which is the optimal position to be in. And the front heel is connected to the ground, creating that resistance as the core and the legs, the engine of the swing, drives its force into the baseball. So finishing that swing, you see a nice finish by Caleb, maintains that balance all the way around. So now we get back to this thing called head movement a little bit. So we'll just kind of bring them back up to this position here, and I will draw a circle around the head, actually in the launch position. So if the body moves, the head moves. There's no way to avoid that. So the hitters that no stride, and you look at some former players, Jeff Bagwell, when Albert Pujols was no striding, David Wright, Paul Goldschmidt, Barry Bonds. You see these guys with not a whole lot of forward movement, and their head barely moved in their swing from all the way from from load to launch to contact to finish. But for most hitters who have movement in their swing, they're going to move their head. So the key is when that front foot gets down, head movement is stopped. When you limit head movement, you are able to recognize pitches early. You make better decisions to swing or not swing. But here's the key right there. That front foot hits the ground, you're going to see a 12-year-old pretty much naturally no head movement. When he starts up in his stance position and he works behind his back hip, two heel connection, front foot in the ground, and you see the head stop movement right there. So when you see Cano, same thing. He's got some forward movement. When that front foot hits the ground, pretty much head movement ceases. He's sinking into the ground through his swing, which is what the best of hitters do, is use that ground all the way through their swing and then finish. And so there you have it. 12-year-old kid here who's on his way to good things. So during these difficult times, keep working.